Hi everyone, this is Galen Martling. Today I am showing two Christmas cards or holiday cards using one background. And I am using Betterpress Letterpress Press Plate along with the Glimmer Hot Foil System by Spellbinders. So I'm using the two because I wanted to make two cards instead of one. And I wanted it to shimmer a little bit, so I added some foil. So this is a way to use the press plates in with the Glimmer Hot Foil System to add foil. But you can't add the Glimmer Hot Foil plates into the Betterpress system. Just the Betterpress plates to Glimmer. Just remember that. Anyway, you go ahead and you sandwich. You make sure everything is preheated and the timer is set. For your Glimmer system, you want to preheat it at least 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and then set your timer when it's ready, and then undock it. And then you sandwich pretty to pretty as far as the pretty side of the press plate to the pretty side of the foil. And then you add your cardstock on there, and then you sandwich your green plate along with, I added 1 sheet of cardstock and then the clear plate to run it through a die cutting machine. Today I'm using my Sizzix Big Shot manual die cutting machine. I am running it through very slowly forward and very slowly backwards to get the best impression. I wanted to make sure that it is all ready to go. I love the way it turned out. So I am going to suggest also other machines. The Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine or the regular Platinum machine is what these plates and the Glimmer system was made for. But you can use other machines. Just follow the manufacturer recommendations. And you may have to play with your shims a little bit to get it to work the way you like it for your other machines. Here is a beautiful result there, and I have a negative piece that I can use and foil with negative foiling later on. And then you use your hot tool that they give you, the pickup tool, to remove that hot plate, the hot press plate from the Glimmer system there. And then we're going to get ready to go ahead and make more of the cards. So to add color, they have a coordinating stencil, which is so pretty. The layers of the leaves and the petals and the accents are all separate, which is great. You can color them in different at different times, different colors. So I decided to use 4 colors of distress ink for ink blending, and I added color with these very narrow detail brushes. They're very thin to get into the spaces a little bit better. I also chose to go ahead, instead of coloring it all in solid, you can just color all of these roses just a solid red or color, whatever color you choose. I wanted a variegated look, so I have a red color and a pink color for these petals. And so I will show how I do that later. I will speed it up a little bit just to kind of give you an idea. You just go in and add colors where you think that the darkest shade might be. Now, also the other things I used for this project, I used Sending Joy Sentiments die set, and I'm going to use those and show those later on. And I foiled those in gold hot foil, and I used the Glimmer Hot Foil Roll Rainbow for the roses. And I'm using obviously the Glimmer Hot Foil System and the gold hot foil for the sentiments. So those are by Spellbinders. I also have cardstock, and also you can use cotton. Try that if you'd like to try it with the foil. It works also with cardstock. So I love that. The thing is, with the press plates, if you use cardstock, it doesn't give as much of an indentation, like a letterpress look, as that cotton paper that Spellbinders offers. But this just came out wonderful. I wanted to show you how I did it and all the different layers of coloring. Now you can color the roses other ways. I just decided to use ink blending. Then let's see, the colors are Forest Moss, Crushed Olive, Worn Lipstick, and Barn Door for the Distress ink. And then going to add the leaves. Now, this next layer of leaves, I'm just using that second stencil, but I'm going to use both colors of green, the dark and the light, adding the dark first. And then towards the ends of each of the leaves, I'm going to add the light just to give each leaf a little highlight. Of course, you can just do them all solid and that works fine too. Let's see what else I wanted to tell you. Just make sure if you are going to use, you can use the hot foil plates where you can use the Glimmer plates with the hot foil system. But when you're foiling with hot foil, make sure, I'm going to stress it, make sure that the system is fully heated. And also, before you add the cardstock and you lay the plates down, you have to wait even more. You set the timer and there's a timer. You have to wait until that timer finishes before you add your cardstock. And then before you run it through the die cutting machine. So it is a little bit to get used to. I made some mistakes. I did things in a rush and I had to go back and do it again. So just, it comes with instructions. They're very easy to follow. I recommend if you're new to this system, go ahead and take a minute and look at the instructions, the safety precautions for the heat elements and all. Now here I have this pretty to pretty side, the plates and the foil. And then I'm going to add the cardstock. Everything is preheated. I should have undocked it first. So I suggest you go ahead and you undock it and then add your foil and your cardstock over it and your plates. But it worked this time for me. So it kind of worked. I'll show you how there was some shifting and what I did to correct it. Again, I ran this through slower than what you're seeing. I just sped it up just for the sake of the video. I used I used 3 shims on this because the smaller sentiments needed a little more pressure. So you want to play with your machines and your shims to get it just right. And there you go. I'm adding the plates to my cooling pad there. And you could see there's some shifting with the smaller sentiments there, but I made it work. I die cut it again, I ran it through again using some tape face up so that the tape would stick to the paper better. So there I added the foil, pretty side to pretty side, and then I added the paper. The tape would stick to the foil, and then the outer paper I taped to the Glimmer base there. Add the shims again, all the plates, and then run it through the die cutting machine, which is off camera. And then you go ahead and you reveal the sentiments. They look really nice. This time they look better. There's a little bit of overage there, but it comes with a die that cuts these sentiments out and you won't even see that overage. You can also use a sand eraser to remove some of the overage of the foiling. And you could trim down your foil to match the size of your plates. And it will help with removing and preventing some of the overage that you might get of the foil onto the cardstock. I decided to make 2 cards from this one beautiful panel. And so I used my paper trimmer to trim a wonky style background layer halfway, sort of almost halfway. And I made a top and a bottom section for my card panels there. And I added a little gold shimmery trim of paper towards the bottom there of that diagonal, just for added interest. Then I used some very thin foam tape to put on the back of this panel so that it's thin enough to still mail just fine. I also added a little bit of that foam tape. I trimmed it really thin and narrow for the sentiments. I used Season's Greetings and Merry Christmas. I really love how these turned out and I hope you give it a try. It's so fun to do. It takes a little practice And, you know, each time I do something wrong, I just go back and fix it real quick. But there you go. 2 cards. So pretty. The foil looks so much prettier in person than it shows here on film. But the foiling of the flowers and the leaves shine too as well. Thanks so much for watching. Please take a minute to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.